Hello, welcome to another blog, and I did promise a few weeks ago that I would do one sooner than later and set myself the task of learning English Country Garden. And well, there you go, there's my performance, such as it is. I have worked really hard. It's now May 2020 and we're still in lockdown because of the coronavirus pandemic now. It's given me a little bit of extra time. I have to work from home, which I'm one of those people who can. I can remote in, and work's actually been very busy. So I've been occupied and the weeks are just flying by. So for me, not too bad. I'm very mindful. For a lot of people, not so good. A lot of bad news around. We won't dwell on that. If you're watching this in the future, then obviously, you know, we'll be looking back on this and we will have learnt lessons, and who knows what sort of world we'll be coming out to. It'll be different, I think, in many ways. But it's, for some, it's been a time of reflection, a time of thinking through life again, slowing down. We've all had to slow down. We've all had time at home more than we have ever done probably at any point in our lives. And for a lot of people, it's actually turned us back to what we used to do, our hobbies, our things that we used to love. And for many, it has been music, which is rather lovely. And if we're one of those people, well done, because it keeps you occupied, keeps the old grey matter going. And it's good for you. It's a form of therapy, music, even though sometimes it can be frustrating if you haven't played for a while and you're trying to get back up to speed. So yes, I'm one of those lucky people. I'm very aware of it, that I have had that time and I have got my music to fall back on. I can't go out. That's the only thing I can't do. Personally, I can't even go for a walk. Again, counting my blessings, I have got a garden, so I can go sit in my garden, and that's been lovely. And it's spring, and we had the most amazing April. Here in the UK, the spring was just almost heaven sent, because we had endless days of sunshine. It was beautiful, it really was. So yes, making the most of everything, as I think is always a good thing to do, and you have to take stock and look around you and think, yes, we're not doing too bad. So English Country Garden, for some people they might think it's a strange choice. I first used it a couple of weeks ago in a stop motion movie that I made for my grandson. That wasn't me playing, that was my husband, because he's an awful lot better than me. But that's why I thought, I want to learn that. Now, if you're my age, you can remember this song. It was always on the radio when we were children. And we probably instinctively thought it was a bit uncool. It was a bit twee. But if you revisit it, go back, listen to it, listen to the words. The words are lovely. And now, of course, I think it's charming, and I actually think, it's been overlooked a little bit. So it's a nice piece to play as well. If you're on the Melodeon, it is a lovely piece to play. It has lots of different things in it that will challenge you to start with if you're a beginner like me. So it has lots of the quick push-me-pull-yous, as I call them, cross rows, all those sort of things, some interesting chords. It's very nice piece of music. Obviously, if you want the music for this, you can find it on the website daddylongles.com. So English Country Garden. It's funny because I'm learning this as well with another piece called Morpeth Rant, and this is why I say this is definitely one of my rants, and it is to do with this knowing when to push and knowing when to pull. Now, if you're an experienced Melodeon player, you're probably looking at me and despairing. Apparently, I should just know when to push and which notes are pulls and which ones are, yeah. And my husband said to me, he said, but surely you must know that, G, B, D, going up like that, those are all push notes. So I said, oh, you mean like the notes on the line? He went, yeah, if you want to look at it that way. But yes, you know, you should know your scales, and you should know which are the push notes, and like, so A and C and all the rest are pull notes. And I went, okay, I've got time to think about that when I'm playing the Melodeon and everything else that's going on. He does despair of me a little bit because I'm not as musical as him, and I said, my little brain, you know, I'm looking at the dots on the page, I'm trying to play it, bellows and everything else going on, so I've got to remember, oh yes, of course I know that's a push, and I said, I have to just learn it, and that's what I've done. I've just learnt the piece of music, and I know now just by doing it over and over again when to push, when to pull, and all the rest of it. Sorry, excuse me ranting. But it has driven me nuts a bit. Not so much English Country Garden, but more Pathrant is hard, but it is a challenge, and I like a challenge. Oh, that's something I want to say as well about challenging yourself, because I was playing concertina, the English concertina, and I'd kind of got a little bit, hadn't got very far with it. I wasn't challenging again, and I did a workshop at Sidmouth Folk Festival with John Kirkpatrick. I was I was a bit of an imposter in there, really, because all these people had obviously been playing for donkey's years, doing the workshop with them, and they're just looking at the dots and just playing. I was sitting at the back and just miming. But it really, really pushed me. It really did. At the time, I realised the limitation of the concertina that I had. It didn't actually have enough in the way of bellows, and some of it I wasn't able to sound my notes because I just didn't have enough oomph in it, and I got a better concertina because of it. But it pushed me to the next level, and that's the whole thing about learning instruments, is you must push to the next level, no matter how hard, and not give up. So things like learning the pushing and pulling, learning those bellows, learning the crossroads, learning the different chords. Push yourself, just persevere, little chunks at a time, practice the same bit over and over and over again. Right, the other little problem I want to mention in this particular blog is I had problems with my hand. And I know lots of people have physical problems when they play an instrument, no matter what they might be, no matter what instrument. This part of my thumb here, the pad, was getting quite sore. It almost felt bruised after playing. At first I thought it was the air holes, because you could see on the bass side there's all the air holes, and I thought, well, maybe it's where that pad is pressing into the hole. So I stuffed a bit of cotton wool in one of them. Didn't make much difference. It was a little bit better probably, so it stopped me thinking. So then I tried some fingerless gloves. That helped a little bit more, but not enough. And then I thought, cycling gloves, and I googled on Amazon, and I looked at all the different images, and I looked for one that had padding in the right place. Well, I found some really good ones. Bit of advertising. They were really good. These are lovely. They're very soft as well. And the pad here, underneath where the thumb is perfect. It really is lovely, and it just protects that little bit enough. I've had to move the bass strap out a little bit to accommodate it. If you like cycling gloves, because this is the other thing I like, they have little little bits here that you can pull the fingerless gloves off with. That's a cycling thing. My other cycling gloves that I have are absolutely frayed on the edges where I'm trying to get them off. So yes, so that was a really good find. And I know the Melodeon is a physical instrument. A lot of people struggle with their shoulders, with their neck, if you play for too long. This, you know, you're using different muscles. So yeah, it's the usual thing. You can adapt, you can find solutions. Don't play too much, practice for shorter periods of time, give yourself a few days rest. Yeah, it's just interesting the things you'll come across as you get to know this instrument. So to anybody who's subscribed, thank you very, very much. That's really lovely. And if you've enjoyed it, obviously keep a lookout for any more updates. And I wish you all well, as usual, in this very strange time. I hope you're all healthy. I hope you haven't lost loved ones. If you have, what can I say? Hard times. Excuse me, I'll get a bit choked up. Hard times for people with isolation, coping mentally, and loss of earnings. not good times. So encourage you, pick up your instruments, pick up whatever it is that you do. Paint, write, poetry, get in the garden, get fresh air, go out for walks, count your blessings, because they're still there. Your blessings are still there. And I wish everybody well. Bye.